We are now in the definition of a luxury in 1961. We are in this beautiful Land Cruiser here, the Chrysler 300G. Steve, you've been driving here for a couple minutes now. Give me some impressions.
This is an impressive car in a lot of ways, a little bit unimpressive in some other ways. This is not only a luxury car, but this was the definition of a luxury performance car in 1961. Some people think these Chrysler letter cars that began in 1955 are the first muscle cars because they were a regular car with a big, powerful engine. This one, for example, has a 413 V8 with two 4-barrel carburetors, making somewhere around 375 horsepower and lots of torque, I might add. It's got a push-button automatic transmission, but I'll tell you what's unimpressive is it just wallows all over the road. What they've done is intentionally adjusted the steering box so it's a little bit loose to prevent wear on this old steering box. So when you want to turn right or left, you know, turn the steering wheel and wait a little while, and then it comes around, kind of like steering a big boat. But it's a lovely, lovely car. It's got swivel seats. It's got a padded dash. It's got an interesting instrument panel that's kind of a bubble, kind of a plastic bubble with all the gauges inside. And as I mentioned, push-button transmission Chrysler used for probably a half a dozen years or so. But it's really interesting to drive. It's very quiet for a car of its age. Very stylish. This was one of Virgil Exner's designs. He was Chrysler's famous design director through the 1950s and most of the 1960s, penning some of the most beautiful, exorbitant, extravagant designs anywhere. Of course, high design was big in those days, so Virgil Exner was right in the hunt. His son, by the way, Virgil Exner Jr., is still designing cars today. So anyway, look around this interior a little bit. We have a big console down the drive shaft that goes all the way through to the back seat, making for two big bucket seats in the back as well. But the driving experience is pretty interesting with this odd steering. It's very, very assisted power steering, as are the brakes. So you have to drive this thing with a light touch, for sure.